So I'm actually thinking this is going to be really quite special. But let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Right, moving on to the petition to get Lucasfilm to rehire Gina Carano as Cara Dune. So this has been a pretty big deal actually recently. I'm pretty sure you've all seen that Gina Carano was fired for posting some really just silly things online, but mainly one post in particular that she actually reshared. She did take it down, but it's too little, too late, and Lucasfilm called the post abhorrent, and it seems as though they just couldn't work with her anymore after that. And this has kind of been coming for a long time now, I suppose. A lot of people were saying that people like Pedro Pascal was actually trying to convince Gina Carano to change her ways, and she didn't. Obviously, she kept on posting on social media. People desperately trying to stop her from posting things on social media because it was getting people so riled up. Again, that is a form of what's the word? Well, silencing that I don't really like. I don't think that's on to tell people to do that. But when you start getting into these areas that she got into, it can get very murky and it can get very difficult, and people get upset. And I mean, it's kind of understandable why they got so upset. But one of the things I was kind of looking at was what's going to be happening afterwards? What's Lucasfilm going to do afterwards? So there have been reports that Lucasfilm will not recast the role and just kind of leave it as it is. There have also been reports that Lucasfilm will recast the role, and they've been putting names like Lucy Lawless out there and Lana Parrilla as well, and all sorts of different names have been mentioned. But now we've got this petition on change.org. There are lots of petitions on change.org. They exist and they'll always exist. And a lot of them get very, very popular. This one, though, for Gina Carano, has proven to be extremely popular. It's actually now got over 50,000 signatures, which is a lot considering it is quite recent. It's like, I mean, I don't think Disney will pay attention to something like this. It's not really something that they pay attention to, these sorts of things. So at the moment it's at 56,000 signatures. I'm just checking it now. I understand why people are signing it. Honestly, I'm going to be honest, I haven't signed it because I don't tend to sign petitions because I don't really think they make any difference. But it kind of shows, at least to me, it shows the appetite out there that 56,000 people are willing to sign this petition because they are so desperate to get Gina Carano to come back to play this role. Cara Dune was reportedly going to be a big part of Rangers of the New Republic, which is the upcoming Star Wars show. So, it's going to be difficult for Disney to move forward from this because Gina Carano was Cara Dune. I don't think she's a particularly amazing actress, but I think she was actually very good as Cara Dune. She really fit that role. And she'll be hard to replace. She will be hard to replace in that role. And that's something that Disney's got to work out because, of course, there are also reports that she was going to play a big part in The Mandalorian Season 3 as well, which makes sense. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. People are very upset about this. Again, I understand why they are, but it seems as though Gina Carano's okay. She's going to be starring in a Ben Shapiro movie. It's his company, like the Daily Wire, they're called, that are producing it, and I think it's all about cancel culture. I wouldn't really align myself with someone like Ben Shapiro, but she's got a gig, so that's good. But she has been dropped by a talent agency, which isn't good news. So she's got to find a new talent agency. But I'm pretty sure she'll bounce back and she'll be fine. Cara Dune, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about. I think that character might be done, which is a shame because I think she was really, really good. And I mean, that's how I feel about it. Just it's annoying, but I understand why Lucasfilm felt they needed to do what they did. I understand why people are annoyed about this. I feel it sounds like I'm sitting on the fence on this one, but again, as I've said in previous episodes, you have to. There is, if you're starring in a Disney show and a Star Wars show, for that matter, you do have to be a role model. And she was. I mean, her character really was. But most of the stuff that Gina Carano was posting on social media seemed to be quite, positive. But that sort of thing, I think, is really not on. It doesn't set a good example. And you have to be held responsible for your actions. And unfortunately, that meant that she was fired. Is it fair? No. Should people be fired for what they say on social media? I mean, it depends, and to be honest, I don't think so. But that's the world we live in at the moment.